Hello, and for this review prepare to invoke your right to remain silent as we review the cult horror sequel, Maniac Cop 3 Badge of Silence. 1993's Badge of Silence was the third and last in the series of Maniac Cop films, which started with the original back in 1988. Directed and produced by cult movie makers William Lustig and Larry Cohen, they starred B-movie actor Robert Z'Dar in the title role as a larger-than-life police officer named Matt Cordell. Having been framed by corrupt city officials and murdered in jail, he returns from the grave to wreak murder and mayhem on those that wronged him and to create chaos on the streets of New York. Think Jason from the Friday the 13th films, but in a police uniform, and you get the idea. The first film from 1988 saw him face off against cult movie actors Tom Atkins and Bruce Campbell. Exceptionally low budgeted, the film received mixed reviews but did prove extremely popular on home video, so a sequel duty followed. 1990's Maniac Cop 2 had a noticeably larger budget than its predecessor and featured considerably more elaborate action scenes, as a much more beaten up Officer Cordell battled noted character actor Robert Darby and TV actress Claudia Christensen whilst continuing his reign of terror. This third film, which came out in 1993, picked up immediately after the events of Part 2, which Officer Cordell, who's looking even more worse for wear this time, bursts out of his grave and heads back into the city using footage that was largely recycled from the second film. Meanwhile, a young rookie cop, Kate Stevens, is attending a robbery at a pharmacist's, where she's shot and seriously wounded after discovering that the store clerk was in on the robbery. The subsequent shootout is caught on camera by a couple of unscrupulous news reporters who edit the footage to make it look like she deliberately shot the clerk for no reason. Also returning from Part 2, Detective McKinney, played again by Robert Darby, he sets out to try and prove her innocence while she's languishing in a coma, but it seems he has help from an unexpected source. It turns out that Officer Cordell was resurrected by a voodoo priest in order to help clear Kate's name, and so he quickly sets about taking care of those that tried to frame her, and starts bumping off anyone who tries to interfere with her life support. This kind of makes him the anti-hero this time rather than the villain, but the body count in this still proves to be no less substantial. But it seems there could be a more sinister reason that Cordell is trying to help out Kate, and it isn't long before he resorts to type, and it's up to McKinney to try and stop him once again. Jokingly referred to as Bride of Maniac Cop, I was never really a fan of the previous films. I thought they fell just short of the mark in terms of entertainment value, even for low-budget films. But I thought they pretty much got it right this time, and it was a vast improvement over its predecessors. It appeared to have a much larger budget and featured a number of interesting death scenes, as well as some elaborate action scenes, particularly where McKinney deals with some escaping criminals from the secure wing. There was also an extremely outrageous chase scene where Cordell goes after the ambulance that Officer McKinney's in whilst driving a burning police car, which proves to be the highlight of the film. The film also had a good supporting cast which included Jackie Earle Haley, Robert Forster and Doug Savant, who all put in good solid performances, which was a first for this series. Now, there have been various DVD releases in recent years, but the best version at present to go for is the US Blu-ray and DVD combo pack from Blue Underground. Now, to summarise, whilst the Maniac Cop films might be something of an acquired taste, this third one was definitely good fun and, in my view, is certainly worth a watch, so check it out.